in prison.
Oh,
Yeah, in prison. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because, it's crazy because the last time I saw him, he was a full-fledged Muslim. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't from Rolling 60s. He dropped his flag. Oh, so I'm saying, like, I don't know how he come out here and scare all y'all. You know what I'm saying? When he was a Muslim in jail. You can't drop your flag. Can
oh,
you? Can you? I ain't never dropped mine.
man. Okay, I didn't know that.
So he's saying, yeah, that when like Big U was fully on his Dean in jail, yeah, like so we wasn't cripping like that, yeah. But I've heard from a lot of like all the other sources that Big U was fully cripping, like whacked out stories about a Big U was knocking man out in the yard, everything, yeah. But he's saying when he was in jail, he was on his Dean, and when he got out, yeah, he wasn't, yeah. But I understand that because, but that takes me on, yeah, to why, like, why do so many people turn Muslim in jail? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, why do we think so many people turn Muslim in jail? Yeah. My opinion is, bro, yeah, on this whole thing here, I feel like it's a very deep question, bro. I feel like to deep this one, yeah, it's a very deep question, yo, but we can't really talk though, cause Joe's got. So I this is how I feel, yeah. I feel like fucking. You see, Christianity, bro, to start off with, bro, yeah. Christianity was a very missionary religion, meaning that people, one of its main things was to convert other people to Christianity. You know what I'm trying to say? And Christianity was so relentless, bro, at this, yeah. I think the disciple Paul, yeah, done a lot of the work for Christianity, bro, in its very, very early days, yeah. So I feel like he put in a lot of that work, bro, and they were so relentless, yeah, in this pursuit, bro, yeah, that they even managed to convert the emperor, the Roman Empire ran everything at that stage, all the known world, bro, yeah. So when their emperor Constantine converted, yeah, they managed to convert Constantine. It just spread throughout the empire like that. Straight away, millions and millions and millions of people, and basically everybody became Christian. So they smashed it, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? But it was still being relentless. It was still a missionary religion. They were still going everywhere throughout the world. They were still planting their flags. They was building churches everywhere. They was really monopolizing the world when it come to religion, bro. They were spreading it, and they had these communal laws, yeah, what was superior to the laws what was there before that. So you see, when at the time before Christianity, there was a small percent Jewish, but a lot of mostly paganism, yeah. Their communal laws, how they all treated each other, yeah, wasn't as superior as Christianity communal laws. So that's why so when they've came in, they've smashed it like that, bro. It's a better way of living. It's a better way of functioning through society, and it spread like wildfire, and everybody took it up, and everyone believed the stories of Jesus and how to treat your neighbor and all of these things, yeah. And they built these churches, and everything was going good, and it was pushing it. And then the state and religion and Christianity became one. The state and Christianity became one. So law was religion and religion was law. There was the same one, yeah. But then obviously, as cycles go, as the world goes, yeah, industrialism happened. You know what I'm trying to say? That whole era happened, yeah, and technology became, and people started to they call it the what is it called? Like the Enlightenment, yeah. So 500 years ago, when science started to take off, yeah, they call it. I forgot what they call it, the Enlightenment or some shit like that, yeah. People started to understand science. They started to understand how the world works, especially the West. You know what I'm trying to say? So they started seeing science and nature as how the world works, yeah, and eventually separated the state from religion. So it separated the state from religion, but they'll become two different things. The laws become two different things, yeah. And then so Christianity started losing its power, bro. Christianity started losing its power, yeah. It started losing its power so much, yeah, that now they only have the little Vatican, they only regulate land over, yeah, Age of Enlightenment, that's what it is, bro, yeah. The only first council of that Nicaea, yeah, I read about that. I'll talk about that in a minute as well. So now they've only got power over the over the Vatican land, bro, and they just hold power within that, yeah. But obviously they have reach because people still halfway believe. But really, bro, it's little like offsprings of it, because people say they're Christian and people say they're Catholic and all of these things, but it's all a lot of offspring of a breakdown in these things. So you see, like, this is what gets me about the religion, like about Christianity, yeah. Why I don't really think, to me, it doesn't add up, yeah. Because because this book shit that I read about Paul, yeah, they were saying about Paul, yeah, that people was, remember, he came like what, how many, 30 years or something years after Jesus died, yeah, people was writing to him saying, what are the laws within Christianity? This is people in the Jerusalem, is whatever Palestinian area, yeah, they didn't understand at that time. So everybody's writing him saying, yo, we need an interpretation of these laws. People never knew then, no one ever really knows. So, and then thousands of years it's gone down the line and we're still trying to get interpretations of it, yeah. So it's lost its way, and the state isn't imposing these laws now because the state don't give a fuck about, no, it doesn't care about that shit. The state just wants you to work, yeah, and raise GDP, bro. It just wants you to be a productive member. It wants this shit to go up so they can borrow more from the banks, yeah, and make shit, and it is making life better in a materialistic sense, yeah, but it's fucking up, yeah. And then boom, now Islam's sweeping through, and I feel like that's why a lot of people are converting to Islam, yeah. Because bro, because they've come along at a point, yeah, where people want to live godly lives. People are sick of this shit. People are sick of the rat race. People are sick of all of this. So they've come along at a time like this, yeah, and said, listen, yeah, this thing's about brotherhood, you know. This thing's about brotherhood. This thing's about these are our communal laws. And at this point, it seems to be like these communal laws, when you're looking at it as as a social like experiment, these ones are fucking more superior than the Christian ones now, because the Christians ain't holding themselves up to nothing. Their state ain't they say they're Christian state, but they're not implementing Christianity rules. You know what I'm trying to say? But now Islam's come along and they're saying, listen, all this material shit, it's a sin for us to even wear gold, bro. Like, and how beautiful thing. We've all got nothing. So when you see a man driving big whips and all of these things, isn't it a beautiful thing that somebody comes along and says, yo, listen, you see all this material shit, yeah? That's not even, we ain't even down with that, bro. All we care about is worshipping God. You know what I'm trying to say? Monotheistic, bro. We're just monotheistic. We worship one God, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm trying to say? And you have to rate that, bro. You have to rate that. So when man are going to jail, yeah, and they're going to jail for robbing, selling drugs, doing all of these mad things, bro, to gain material items. Somebody's, and they suffered so much for it, bro, yeah. And they're like, I'm in this place because of this fucking rat race, yeah, because I can't hold myself up to the next man because I haven't got as much as him. They're saying, nah, bro. It's not about that, bro. This shit's about God, bro. How much can you sacrifice for God? You know what I'm trying to say? So I get why a lot of man are converting, and they're not just saying it. They're standing on that shit, bro. These Muslim youths back each other, bro. When they're shouting brotherhood, they're fully standing next to each other. I've seen it so many times, bro. I've seen it, you get me? Like, I've seen a man get punched up, yeah, and a geezer who don't even know him, bro, has stepped for him and be like, fuck that, my man's one of the brothers, bro, I'm backing it, bro. Like, if you look at that objectively, how is that not like, it's a yin and yang to everything, don't get it twisted, yeah, but in this little case, how is that not a beautiful thing, bro? Like, a man you don't even know, but you and him, yeah, have signed a fucking unwritten document to God to say, anybody who believes in the same values as us, yeah, we step forward, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like that's why it's become so that's why it's become so important in this time. You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that's why a lot of people are buying it, because it's real what they're buying into. Forget about whether God spoke to Muhammad or anything like that. I'm just on about the brotherhood of it, bro. It's a real fucking thing, bro. I've seen it, bro. And I've seen it stop savages in their path, bro. I've seen man on such destructive paths, yeah, that nothing weren't stopping them until Islam come into their life, yeah. and they read about this whole thing and they jumped on their Dean, and now they're just peaceful people. Now they squash beef and see their enemies in chapel every fucking Friday, and see their enemies in chapel every Friday. And you're just like, and nothing stopped them but the deed, and you're just thinking, fuck it now, bro. That's powerful. That's powerful. You know what I'm trying to say? But I feel like everybody's like, obviously it's the yin and the yang to everything. I've seen people manipulate it. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, a good person's a good person and a bad person's a bad person. Yeah. If a good person's a good person, they're always gonna interpret everything as being good. Like, yo, you're my brother. I love ya. Even if you're not Muslim, you may become Muslim one day. I can see you got a Muslim heart. It doesn't, like, bro, like, blessings to you. But a bad person's gonna be like, nah, fuck that, bro. Like, I interpret this like I'm gonna kill you, like, and becoming a manipulator. You know what I'm trying to say? And they become manipulators, bro. I'll tell you a story once, yeah. One time I was on the wing, yeah. One youth's come on the wing, yeah. But I'm shotting and that, yeah. I'm doing my thing on there. So he's come on and he's got like a little cue off me, yeah. A little cue of weed off me, and then he's left or whatever, yeah. And then but obviously don't get it twisted. When you're shotting, you're always gonna have people who don't pay, yeah, because their addiction gets the best of them, bro. Like their addiction overrides their intellect, so it's just like, and they got no way of paying. But you see, if they're apologetic, you just let that shit slide. You write them off as people you killed, like you see through them. Then now though, they become transparent now. They've given themselves away for a fucking sake of a bit of weed. But you're like, you know what, bro, yeah, you're a scumbag. You don't pay your debt, yeah, but I'm not gonna fuck you up because I can see I can see your addiction's got the best of you. But this weren't one of them cases. This guy was like, oh, I don't have to pay. He weren't telling me, but somebody come to me and was like, yo, my man was saying you don't have to pay, My man was saying that, yo, like, that's it, like, he's talking, and that's that, like, da. So I'm like, swear down. So now someone's told me to down workshop. So I've gone back to the wing. So obviously that's what's on my mind now. I'm thinking, I'm banging him. I'm thinking, fuck that, I'm banging him. So I've told Flash, I'm like, yo, I'm going to bang my man, bro. Roll up. No, I'm going towards the Flash. I'm going upstairs. I'm sticking it on my man. If he gets cheeky, I'm banging him. So Flash is like, all right, then cool. So we've gone upstairs. And when I've gone up there, I've gone in the pad and that, I'm like, yo, yeah. I'm like, I've said something to him, like, where he has to hold it or respond. So I goes to him, I goes, yo, I'm taking this or something. And he was like, yo, if you don't pay, I'm taking this. It's like, you're mad. But I was waiting for that. So when it's got him mad, I just got, pow, just rocked him, bro, yeah. Rocked this shit off, bro. Caught him nice, bro, yeah. Whatever, fuck, whatever, yeah. My man's everyone split up and that, yeah. I was just happy that I banged him because he was talking mad, yeah. So I've gone back downstairs, but my man's a Muslim, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? And the whole wing's fucking jails are all fucking Muslim nowadays, yeah. But the whole wing was fucking Muslim, yeah. But they're the guys, bro, and they know right from wrong and wrong from right, yeah. And so when this has come out, he's tried to manipulate it like, but my man's a cuff, but my man's a fucking unbeliever, bro. Like yeah. But the guys was like, nah, bro. Like, fuck that, bro. Like, we're with my man. What you done was wrong, bro. Fuck that. Like, if it's up, then it's up. We're stepping for my man, bro. And I think that's part of how community should be as well. If man want to separate themselves on ideological fronts, yeah. If your man, like, if you want to separate us on ideological fronts, yeah, then if your man fucks up and he's doing some fucked up shit over there, you handle it then. Because if somebody, another fraction handles it, then there's gonna be wars, bro. And that's what they do in America with the Bloods and Crips, you know. Like, see, like, because they're in it, like, the blacks and the Mexicans, yeah. So say if the blacks, like, one manipulator or one, like, toxic person does something mad with one Mexican person, yeah, it's like they can't fight each other, bro, because everyone has to stand on for each other, yeah. Like, if they get into it, so the Mexicans will say, yo, fuck up your man, bro, or we'll fuck him up and go to war. So the blacks or the Mexicans then would give like a disciplinary beating into their own thing, and that's how it should be, bro. That's how it should be. You know what I'm trying to say? If it's gonna be like that. So people can't manipulate the thing, bro. Like, people try and manipulate the thing, bro. But it's unfortunate sometimes in jail when people try to do that, because people fall for it. Like, I've seen man that I fully like and fully rate, yeah. Stand up for, like, somebody who's doing wrong. Someone who's doing totally wrong, bro, yeah, and end up fucking up a good geezer. And I'm like, bro, like, That's wrong, bro. What you doing? I hear that you signed up for this thing and that, yeah, but you shouldn't be backing my man just because he's manipulated that to the full extent, bro. He don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's so it's all mad. You gotta be, and you see the higher in category that you go, yeah, the more political it gets. You see, Cat A's, bro, that's a straight Muslim thing, bro. Like they run that shit differently, bro. Trust me. So if you go up there, bro, and you got beef with somebody, bro, yeah, no matter what the beef's about, if you chop them or want to set it on them or something like that, you've got basically 5 jails. They call it dispersal system. Yeah, there's 5 of them. Yeah, like Full Sutton, Franklin, Whitemore, Full Sutton, Franklin, Whitemore, Cook, 2 others, whatever, yeah. They're the main category A systems, yeah. They call them dispersals, yeah. But the Muslims have got all of them on box. So if you fuck someone up, like say if you fuck somebody up who's Muslim in that one, and you go to that one, don't matter, bro. It's this brotherhood shit. You're getting sliced. Something's happening to you, bro. But that's why you have to rate it as well. You know what I'm trying to say? That's why you have to rate it as well. You reckon some man converting jail for protection? 100%, bro. Man also convert, like people like join people join because for the same reason people join gangs, bro. Because they want to be part of something as well. You know what I'm trying to say? They wanna be part of something as well, but being part of a religion, yeah, I think that's a positive thing to attach your identity to. I feel like it's better to attach your identity to any religion, yeah, than it is to a gang, because a gang's very destructive, bro. It starts to become very destructive anyway, yeah. Whereas religions, bro, they're very productive. You know what I'm trying to say? They're very productive, bro. They help a lot of people, bro. They bring peace to a lot of people. They help the fucking world, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Imagine, like, you see what, you know what religions do, yeah. What I feel is like a beautiful thing, yeah. I feel like religion, yeah, puts a voice in your head to do the right thing. It gives you integrity. So you might do something bad, yeah, but you'll be like, you know what? That's bad, you know. No, you might think about doing something bad, but a voice comes in your head and says, "Nah, that's the wrong thing to do." Where the fuck is that voice come from? I feel like it's come from being young and just being taught about God. So it's just being taught about God, like, is God real? Like, so don't matter if God's real. I definitely think God's real, but imagine if it doesn't matter at that point, because this voice is being installed into your head saying, somebody's like omnipresent watching you, yeah, and they're gonna judge you if you do something bad. So it stops the people from doing something bad, which is I think is a beautiful thing. Have you seen that viral video of the guy, grown man in his 30s, wanting to join a Crip gang? They jumped him in at the kids' playground and beat him bad and just kept saying, "Fight back." Nah, I ain't seen that video, bro. But I feel like you see what I'm saying about that voice of integrity that religion gives you? That's a fucking beautiful voice, you know. It's a beautiful voice, and the more people that have that voice, the better. You know what I'm trying to say? But I feel like sometimes it holds people back, like on a technological standpoint as well, because some religions will say like this is bad, like if you do this, you know what I'm trying to say, or this is bad when you do that. And I feel like there's an argument to be made that's why the Middle East, obviously we know how the West has fucking fucked up the Middle East, but they sometimes make an argument about it's held back, like it's being held back technologically, because a lot of religions in play over there. They don't believe that you should even profit off something. They don't believe that you should do this. They don't believe you should do that. So it holds people back from being innovators. I don't know whether that's true or not. That's just an argument that some people say. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes, JF. Thanks, babe. Probably safe. But yeah, that's why I think people are joining Islam, or whatever. Like a lot of people joining Islam in jail, because bro, people want to live godly lives, man. And you know what's deep as well, bro? Yeah, Because I don't believe, bro, I swear down, yeah. You see, because I dive deep into science and that, yeah. You see, when I'm like reading my books, yeah, I come out question shit. So when I'm on the landing and all the guys are Muslim, yeah, but it's all love, you know what I'm trying to say? Even though everyone's Muslim or whatever the fuck everyone is, we're all humans, bro. So we all interact at the same level, you know what I'm trying to say, of love mostly, bro, yeah. So when I'm coming out and I'm like, yeah, but this and that, but they're like, yeah, but this and that, and we get into hot debates about it, yeah. But obviously, I believe in I believe in nature, bro. I believe in seeing the world how nature is, because I feel like nature shows the world how it's intended to be shown. Einstein's got this quote, yeah, it goes something like, we shouldn't put intellect on God because we know that God's got strong muscles. No, we shouldn't put intellect on God because God has strong muscles but no personality. And meaning, yeah, that God doesn't care about how you think. You're part of this system, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? You're part of this system. And nature's impersonal. You see, nature, it's impersonal, bro. Don't give a fuck what you think that you think. You know what I'm trying to say? It's already created your biology. It's already created your DNA. What's doing shit? You don't even know how your body operates. Shut the fuck up. That's what nature's saying. You don't even know how to fight a virus. If you're so conscious, yeah, start thinking about your cells that fight your virus. What cell? Send your cells to fight a virus over here and do that if you're that conscious. Bro, we ain't conscious, like, as far as everything what's going on out here. We're conscious at a fucking little level, you know, bro. We don't even know. You know what I'm trying to say? If you've got real control of your body, yeah, if you're really in control of you, go to sleep right now. Just go to sleep like that. Choose to go to sleep like that. You can't, bro. You have to go through this system of things. You know what I'm trying to say? You have to get tired for one, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't even know your shit's set out for you, bro. I feel like people are downplaying your knowledge and perspective on things for being in jail. You're a smart guy, full of knowledge, genuinely. Blakes, you seen Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan talking about bro. I seen that Graham Hancock, bro. I love Rico. Joe, yeah, I seen that Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan. Have you seen him where he debates that Dibble guy? And Dibble's saying, yeah, because Dibble, yeah, you see Dibble's an archaeologist. So when he's gone to all these different sites around the world and dug them up and seen and got evidence, yeah. But Hancock's just got theories about civilization, yeah. Bro, Dibble kills Hancock. I do like Hancock, don't get it twisted, but Dibble killed him, bro. Killed him. After that, I swear down, I'm never watching Hancock again. I'm not watching him again, bro. He's being killed, bro. He's wrong. He's debunked his whole theory. What does he kill him on, bro? If you remember. So basically, yeah, Hancock saying, yeah, that there's lost civilizations what was more technically advanced than the civilizations we've got now. So his whole thing was he goes around all these lost civilizations, apparently shows proof of them, yeah, and says and shows how they're more technically advanced, more advanced than we are, because this here and that there and that there, yeah. So they bring Dibble on the show, yeah, and Dibble's like, but Dibble's just got all the facts. Dibble's like, how would it name me one thing we found. You remember, Dibble's been to thousands of he's dug up thousands of things, bro. He's seen everything, bro. He knows where everything is. He knows what moments in time, where everything's at. And he's saying to him, where, bro? So he'll take him to this cut in the wall and he's like, yo, but nature creates that. But he's saying if nature flows like this, a matter of time, nature could create that cut. That doesn't mean a human stepped in and cut that with a fucking fine-tuning blade. Nature creates that cut. Where else? Give me another thing. It'd be like, oh yeah, but this here, I'd be like, nah. We've dug up that area, bro. We've dug up and we found stone artifacts. That was early humans. 1,000%, I'm being a controlled. 1,000%, we're being controlled history deleted and rewritten to make us conform. But you can say that, Jazz, yeah, but there's no evidence of that, bro. That's what Dibble's going into. Dibble saying, man say all of these things, you know, like, oh, but there's been other civilizations, what was this and what's that, yeah, and everybody's entitled to their theory 100%, yeah, but there's no evidence of that, bro. There's no evidence, bro, not one piece of evidence. Elon Musk says, yeah, find me a cube, yeah, just find me a metal cube was cut exactly like a cube, yeah, flawlessly, and I'll believe that. But we ain't found nothing like that. The only shit we've found, yeah, what is fucking stone artifacts and little metal coins and this and that, bro. We ain't found shit, bro. When it comes to like, we're the ones, bro, in time. We're the advanced civilization in our timeline right now. Wait there. Someone to look at Professor Jang on YouTube is 30. How we're constructed by man to drop seed quicker or something. He's talking about the plants right there. But there's a... Yeah, he's talking about how plants have been domesticated and that over the years. How it started off in fucking... But somewhere in the Middle East, they started domesticating plants first and then it spread throughout, bro. Started farming and all that kind of shit, bro. Yeah, it's sick still. It's sick still. Blakes, have you read about Admiral Bird? Nah, I don't know about my man, bro. I reckon there's defo lost cities, though, in the Amazon. There's definitely lost cities, 100%. Like, they find rings and dug up shit all the time. Like, there's loads of lost cities. But that the argument is, were they more advanced than what we are now? And it's 100% no, in my humble opinion. Yo. Hancock will just point out a random place in Africa and try to say it's a yeah. That's what he does. That's exactly what he does. You gotta watch that thing where the debate and he kills him. I love people like that, yeah, who challenge each other. But that's how you learn things. That's how the conspiracy theories used to get me. I used to watch shit like, oh no way, like they fucking really whatever, yeah. And then I watch another fucking episode talking about it and be like, yo, nah, look, this is bullshit because of this. The line on this because of this. The line on that because of this. This thing here is a total lie. And you're just like, no way. The motherfucker plays some music in the background and convince me. You know what I'm trying to say? Yo, but what do we know? But what we don't know is before the Great Flood. A lot of people say that it was the reset of Noah's Ark. But remember though that the Earth's being flooded. Remember, we've had ice ages. We've had the world covered in ice as far as they say they know, about 5 times. We've had 5 global ice ages. We've had times where, bro, continents have moved. Everywhere's being flooded. That Noah's Ark shit, bro, that weren't. If they say, oh, everywhere got flooded, bro, that's happened numerous of times, bro. Like,